Well, another area where Donald Trump needs some help, perhaps some support among black voters. The GOP nominee is lagging with that demographic as the racial climate in America grows ever more tense. A recent poll, in fact, shows that 63% of Americans trust Hillary Clinton more to deal with the country's race relations issues. 29 support Donald Trump, as you see there. One person who has taken a stand against the GOP nominee, a basketball legend and political activist Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the former Lakers great, has taken a stand against Donald Trump in the public eye, including this joke that he made at the Democratic National Convention in July.
Hello, everyone. I'm Michael Jordan, and I'm here with Hillary. I said that because I know that Donald Trump couldn't tell the difference.
And Power Memorial, UCLA, and NBA legend and best-selling author Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is here with me, the author of the new book, Writings on the Wall, Searching for a New Equality Beyond Black and White. Kareem, thanks so much for being here.
Happy to be here.
For whom did you write the book?
Oh, geez, I wrote it for my fellow citizens here in the U.S. of A. because we got a lot to think about with regard to this election. And, you know, I just wanted to bring a few things up that made sense to me, and hopefully I could share that would help us find our way through the forest here.
In this election cycle, one where we've seen a lot of rancor on both sides, the Constitution has been invoked. And I know in the book you write about the Constitution, just frankly looking back 240 years, what an effective political document it has remained.
And it still works, you know, because the whole emphasis of the Constitution, it got framed by people who had to sit down and figure out what they agreed on. And it took a lot of discussion, and it took a lot of respect, because you had to be able to listen to the other side with an open mind, and then express yourself about your side of any argument clearly and coherently, so that people could get an idea of what really was at stake and what was important.
And I know, as you wrote, own your own frailties and biases, and learn to deal with
other people's frailties and biases.
One could argue that is not perhaps Donald Trump's strong suit. In the headlines again, interestingly, perhaps suggesting a certain flexibility with regard to one of the cornerstones of his campaign to deport the millions of undocumented immigrants in this country. According to polling, race relations in this country are and remain at a historic low. I know that is a big part of the book as well. What do you make of the numbers that you see?
Well, I think that what the numbers are telling us is that we still have a lot of work to do. We still got things to do that were very easily skipped over during the time of the Civil Rights Movement in the 1950s and 60s. And there are still issues and problems that are still affecting us that really have to be dealt with. The educational system doesn't work for all Americans anymore. And that's a real issue, because without knowledge, we don't have the power to do the things that we need to do. So how are we going to fix our educational system and make it work for everybody, for people in inner cities who don't have the resources that a lot of people in the suburbs have? How do we make our educational system work for those people and their children so that they can participate?
Interestingly, we saw Donald Trump in a speech reach out to the African-American community, describe a very bleak picture of perhaps what it is to be African-American in the United States today, and then end by saying essentially, what have you got to lose supporting me? What did you make of that decision of his, and what do you think people have to lose one way or another?
Well, I would think that people had time to lose. We'll lose some time, because I don't think Mr. Trump has any solutions. So it would just be a waste of time to listen to what he has to say, because he hasn't really been offering a whole lot of solutions. One of the solutions, equality in housing, is something that the Trump Corporation had to pay fines for discrimination, for discriminating against African American vets that wanted to live in the housing that Mr. Trump built in Queens. That happened when I was in high school. So you know, you got to walk it like you talk it, and I don't see him doing that. When that does happen, you know, I'll change my opinion.
I want to get you out of here on this one. I know, obviously, the process of writing a book is a very personal one.
Yeah.
In reading it at times, it felt cathartic to a certain degree. What was it to write this book for you?
Well, for me, it was. It really enabled me to tell people what I thought about what the solutions were, because people keep asking me what the solutions were, and I was always talking about the problems. But now I had to look into it deeply enough to try to come up with some answers on how we can get out of this mess. And you know, we all need to come together and start working on that and start talking to each other about what solutions will actually work.
As you made clear in Philadelphia, this is not Michael Jordan. This is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And the book is Writings on the Wall. Again, searching for a new equality beyond black and white. Kareem, great to see you again.
My pleasure.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.